Hello, it's Grooving Greens. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Here's where I'm gonna do a lot more detailed videos about my plants. I'm probably gonna have some ceramics going on here. Follow the journey. Today we're gonna be repotting a ton of our plants. A lot of things are overgrown from winter, so we're just gonna go ahead and put them in new soil, take off some old leaves, get rid of all the dead foliage that's laying on top of the pots. Yeah, so it's just gonna be kind of like a little vlog. I just took all of these plants out of their pots. You can see there's a huge stack over here. So these are all gonna have to be replanted. I just cleaned the bases of these cactus plants. This one still needs to have a lot of the foliage taken out. Probably just gonna dump this upside down. I think this guy should be repotted. The soil's really stiff and the plants are getting really tall, so I'm probably gonna repot this one. These guys look good. I'm also thinking of putting these in a big pot, like the pot behind it. Yeah, so we're gonna start working on that. See, the big problem with me is that I'll start a bunch of projects at the same time, but now I have no space to work. So I'm probably just gonna have to move things around so I can start repotting my cactus plants and then put all the succulent cuttings to the side because I don't want those to get damaged. They're super fragile, so let's just get that right now. All three of these are about to be repotted. I just wanted a good view of what they look like right now. I like to just try to grab it from the base, or at least the largest one. Oh God, this guy's thick. So I like to, wow, yep. Very tight. I could tell the top was really tight, but I didn't know if it was because the soil was hydrophobic. But it looks like, yeah. All right, so that's one. I'm gonna grab the biggest head, the sturdiest, and pull. This one's giving me a little bit of pushback. Come on. Let's see. Okay. I'm assuming this one's gonna be very similar circumstances. I planted them at the same time. They were the same size. So yeah. Looks basically just like the other one. I really like to keep my plants organized, so I organize them from size. This will help me group them into larger pots or medium pots or small pots. This is what the cactus plants look like now that they're repotted. I got a bunch of the small ones in this pot. They're gonna grow so well. They have a ton of space. Like their roots are about here, so they're gonna be able to grow all the way down. As far as these big guys, same thing. I planted them closer to the top so then their roots can stretch, and I just think that they're gonna do well. This one has like a new little head coming in. We did lose one guy, so I just tucked him in the soil here, which totally will be fine. Now we're going to be working on the succulents. Right now I'm going to take all of my nursery pots, set them up. I want to make sure everything already has soil in it so I don't have to keep going back and forth. So here's all the pots laid out. Now I'm going to fill it with soil. Everything has soil in it now. It's time for the hardest part, which is adding the plants. Instead of planting this entire plant with it's just really like long and there's no leaves over here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this so I can plant it easier. And if it did have leaves, you just take the leaves off and you plant it back in the soil like that. Normally when people do this, they like to wait for the plant to callus. However, in Florida weather, I know that this step isn't necessary. The soil is going to dry out pretty quickly. The plant's going to be fine. I've done this over and over. So you can, if you want to, take an extra step to make sure your succulents survive their new potting process. However, I'm just going to move ahead and plant them as normal. If you were to let these callus, you would let them dry out in like indirect sunlight area, and you'd wait till the tip got calloused on the end. Some people who live in like damper climates do this to prevent like root rot. I've done that. I've done both, and this always works for me. However, it may not work for other people, and I don't want you to mess up your plant because you skipped this step. So if you're in a different climate, then yeah, try to let them callus. But yeah, they're gonna look like this. It's gonna take a couple weeks for them to actually like grow into the pot itself and get adjusted, but they're gonna be just fine. Now we're gonna trim these back, but I wanted to do an up close because you can see that there's a stem here, and this is where I took a previous stem like I'm gonna do right now, and it's like I cut it here, I plant the head, but I also plant the stem so that I can continue the cycle of having plants growing from this as well. So yeah, you can see that here. Peel this off. This was once a stem that had plants on it, and I cut it at the top here, and then it grew 2 new heads. And I like to do this so the cycle continues, and I use all the plant parts. Yeah. So here's what everything looks like now that I repotted everything. I'm really pleased with the results. I think everything's gonna grow really well. Last step is setting them back up and then watering them. All right. Alright, so that concludes today's work. I finished all of my plants. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos like this. Yeah, thanks so much.